Someone asked how I make collages. This is all collage material I've collected. Usually I just grab a bunch. So I'm just going to grab this pile. I use collage as a means of getting in touch with my subconscious, so I try not to think about the images. I just make two piles, a yes pile and a no pile. I don't ask myself why. Something about it grabs me or it doesn't. So here's my yes pile. I haven't selected very many because I'm just going to do a small one. Now I'm going to trim them, either tearing or cutting, and then I'll start playing with them. Several different ways you could do it. You can do it on paper and then use a glue stick or yes glue. I don't do it that way. That's a much easier way to do it. And it's quick, works very well, especially if you put it behind glass. It lasts very well. And the collages in my art books are all done that way. The other way is to put them onto a board, a thin piece of plywood or any kind of wood. That's what I usually do. I make sure it's smooth, and then I apply a slightly diluted Elmer's glue onto the back of the collage piece and put it onto the board. This always is rather laborious because it tends to wrinkle. So pressing out all the little air bubbles takes a while, but they last forever. I have collages that are 30-some years old, and they're still, except for fading color in the inks, they're still in as good shape. So then I start playing around with some of the images. I cut my piece of plywood a little bit smaller than the image. So I'm putting a thin coat of Elmer's glue, which I've diluted with a little water, on the back of this piece. You want to get it all because you don't want any air bubbles. To overhang the edges slightly so that I can fold it down. Now you see you start to get bubbles there, and that's what takes the time then, is pressing the bubbles out. You can't always see them, you have to get the light just right. There's other faster ways, but none of them last as long as this. Just have to be patient. If I'm doing something elaborate, say I'm going to want to get those together somehow, then it gets a little tricky. How much of which one to glue down first so that you can get the other one on. This is going to go on top of part of that, but this is also going to go on top of this, so you always have to be careful you don't get air bubbles, because I like it to look like a painting when I'm done. This element here, what's that all about? You have to work out to the edges in case there's any glue, extra surplus glue in there. You can squeeze it out. So there we have it. Then you can finish it off with either a glossy or a matte finish.